overweight. I was already tipping the scales at 250 pounds with a massive sugar addiction. I was at the local Wawa buying all kinds of candy and soda because I wanted it. It just suited my cravings. So that is my motivation, but it wasn't motivating enough to make me make sustainable change. Fast forward to the year 2022. I had an aha moment. My son took a picture of me, and I didn't look at the picture right away. I was sitting in a chair reading a book in this picture, but it went into my photo library. I was scrolling through photos looking to actually post something on Facebook when I came upon that photo. I could not believe what I looked like. So because I thought that he took a bad angle, I went to a full-length mirror and took a selfie and looked at the picture and realized I wasn't just overweight, I was literally fat. No one had told me that I was fat. Maybe it happened so gradually that everyone was used to seeing me this way, but I was truly fat. At that point, I knew I needed to really make some change. At that point, it was vanity. I knew I was a type 2 diabetic and I knew that I should be eating differently, but I did not want to be fat. Somehow, some way, I stumbled upon a TED Talk from the late, great Dr. Sarah Hallberg, where she talked about how you can reverse diabetes with your diet and that you would also lose weight at the same time. She worked with a company called Virta Health. So of course I looked up Virta Health and tried to become a member, hoping that my health insurance would pay for it. Unfortunately, my health insurance did not pay for it, but I decided that I would pay out of pocket. But at $299 per month, I just could not sustain the extra cost. But what it did do was help me learn to eat a low-carb lifestyle, which kept me from being hungry and allowed me to lose 50 pounds over the course of the next year. So I stayed with Virta Health for about 2 months, but continued the principles, and I have maintained that 50-pound weight loss. Unfortunately, I needed to have lost 100 pounds. Although that 50-pound weight loss was great, I still had 50 pounds left to get off of me. Basically, I stopped taking care of myself once I realized it was easy to maintain this 50-pound weight loss. Eventually, I got a Dexcom continuous glucose monitor, and I was able to see which foods really raised my glucose and which did not. At a certain point, my prescription drug coverage stopped covering the continuous glucose monitor for people who were not on insulin. Once I no longer was wearing it, I really stopped keeping track of my glucose. I stopped even paying attention to what I was eating until one day I realized I had not had a physical in basically 18 months. I decided to try to rejoin Virta Health and that I was going to just sacrifice and pay for it. Virta Health requires you to do labs before they accept you. When I got the lab results back in April of 2025, I was stunned. My A1C had risen from the 6.5 at diagnosis in 2019 to 14.1. I had no symptoms. I was stunned. I don't even know how I am still alive at 14.1, but there I was at 14.1 with a fasting glucose of 354. Your fasting glucose should be under 100, and I was at 354. A miracle happened. Virta Health not only accepted me, but I found out that my insurance would pay for it. The Virta Health provider suggested that I start a GLP-1 to help immediately lower my glucose. but the provider was concerned about my cholesterol levels and suggested that I meet with my primary care physician, which I did. My primary care physician is the one who is handling my GLP-1, and she prescribed Mounjaro. The good thing is that by going through my primary care physician, it's going to be easier to manage my prescription. So on May 16th, I got my first box of Mounjaro, 2.5 milligrams, and I injected on Friday, May 16th, worried about all of the side effects. But guess what? The only side effect I had was minor constipation. And that's primarily because I just do not drink enough. Once I learned that I needed to drink, the constipation dissipated. Without fail, I took 4 consecutive Mounjaro 2.5 milligram injections, Friday, May 16th, Friday, May 23rd, Friday, May 30th, and Friday, June 6th. And during that first month, I lost about 10 pounds using Mounjaro and the Virta Health low carb nutritional plan. I was thrilled. I contacted my doctor to find out if I should stay on the 2.5 milligram or if I should move up to 5 milligrams, because 2.5 is considered a loading dose. My doctor moved me to the 5 milligram dose, and let me tell you, side effects hit. I had extreme fatigue for the first 3 days after my first injection on Friday, June 13th. I was really afraid that my next injection on Friday, June 20th would do the same, but I adjusted and the fatigue is gone. The next part for me in terms of doing a 180 and improving my health was to include some fitness. If you look at what I've done so far, I leveraged using a GLP-1 tool, which is Mounjaro. I use Virta Health as a low-carb nutritional guidance program with real-time feedback. And now it was time to add in fitness. In June, I became a member of Peloton. I don't have a real Peloton bike, but I do use the Peloton app and my own Peloton, basically a DIY cycle. And I can do all of the Peloton exercises with it. The goal with joining the Peloton app was to increase my movement, be able to work at home, to build a routine, and realize that I was not going to become an athlete overnight. Now I had 3 parts of my 180 transformation on track. I was taking Mounjaro, I used Virta Health, and now I am using fitness with the Peloton app. The next thing that I needed to make sure I leveraged was quality sleep. I have obstructive sleep apnea. I don't always get good quality sleep because I just wake up. What I started to do was lower the temperature in my room, and I have been able to get about 7 good hours of sleep. And that's important because I found out that good quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours a night, reduces cravings, helps with recovery from my exercise, and also contributes to being able to lose weight more easily. So that's 4 parts: GLP-1 Mounjaro, Virta Health for my nutrition, Peloton for my fitness, and sleep. The next thing I need to do is just to make time for self-care. All of this time, I've taken care of everyone else but myself. Now it's time for me to start to care for me. Maybe a few indulgences here or there, skincare, just time out in the sunshine, things that make me feel happy. So I know that this is not going to be a quick fix. This is going to be a voyage. It could take me a year because right now I am at 185.8 pounds. However, here's the good news. On May 16th, I was 200 pounds. So since I started Mounjaro 6 weeks ago, I have lost 14 pounds and I couldn't be happier. If this video resonates with you, please join me on my voyage to wellness. please think about subscribing to my channel, liking this video, dropping a comment or a tip. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much, and I will be seeing you every week for an update, whether it's good or not so good, on my voyage to wellness.